My name is Anthony Silio, and I will be performing a carbon footprint and sustainable living bio lab for the Bio 121 Environmental Conservation Lab at Colorado State University Global. In this experiment, we are going to go from determining my habits surrounding waste and just general energy consumption to changing them. So pretty much identifying what my habits are and how we can make them improved. So basically through waste collection and daily journaling, I will explore what my waste habits are on a regular basis. I'll then identify how my regular life habits impacts the planet and how, if my life was expanded to be representative of all the lives, how would the world be better or worse? And then once I'm aware, I want to make some life changes to tip the balance in favor of helping the planet be more sustainable. First and foremost, while journaling my actual trash consumption, I was surprised at how much paper I throw away. At home, a majority of my trash was paper towels. There was some plastic wrappings for like I had cellophane wrapped in my chicken that I cooked for dinners. I had some packaging for the rice that came for, I mostly eat grains, and my rice comes in a package, and that was in my trash. But if not for food packaging, it was mostly paper towels. That was the biggest surprise. Same thing in my office. If we take a look at the picture here is actually my office waste bin, and this was taken around 12 p.m. one day, so halfway through the day. I've got pretty much everything in there can be recycled. Plastic cups, papers that I was working on as a draft and have been thrown away, mailing packaging, so definitely something that can be done there. So how does my waste stack up against, the normal waste? 2005, the three highest areas of waste were paper, plastic, and yard waste. Paper and plastic are my two largest waste contributors. I don't have a yard, so I don't have much yard waste. But I do have a dog that creates her own waste, which I do throw away, so that could kind of go into that yard waste portion. But in general, yeah, paper for sure, my number one waste contributor. So kind of going over some of the other stuff, my carbon footprint overview is just basically in terms of energy bills, I spend about $1,000 a year on energy and gas for my municipality. I do not use air conditioning most of the time, so only about 3 to 4 months out of the year. When I don't use AC, my electricity bill is about $60. When I do use AC, it's about $120. But basically, I live in a small one-bedroom apartment that's pretty much about 700 square feet. I've got 4 lights on that are about 5 hours a day, and a TV and some computers that are plugged in pretty regularly and are usually on. So that's definitely using up some of my energy consumption. In terms of travel and transportation, I have a 30-minute commute, so about an hour every day I'm behind the wheel. I drive a 4-wheel drive SUV that gets about 22 miles per gallon. And I do drive alone, so probably about 10,000 miles a year on my car, but more than likely less, so about 7,000 to 8,000, I would say. In terms of food consumption, I cook a lot. I cook in a lot. I don't eat out a lot. I mostly eat meat and grains. When I do snack, it is processed food, so I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I only drink water. I refill a 24-ounce water bottle about 4 times a day from the tap. I do take 2 showers a day that average about 15 minutes, sometimes longer, and my bathroom sink time is about 15 minutes to half an hour a day as well. So definitely using a good amount of water there. So how does my carbon footprint stack up to the rest of the world? According to my answers to the questionnaire, I'm about 44% better than average when it comes to my total carbon footprint. So if everyone lived like me, 20 tons of CO2 would be produced per year. A lot of that is cutting away from travel. I do live fairly close to where I work and pretty much only go from work and home, especially during this year, which has been 8 months of pandemic time. At the home, my electricity bill is lower than the average electricity bill. I do consume not great food, so I have a little more food footprint than I do other foods. I'm pretty average on goods, and I don't really do anything in terms of services. I don't go to a gym. I don't laundromat my clothes. I pick up my groceries, which go into goods. Some household stuff at the grocery store as well, but I don't get my car cleaned. I don't really utilize any outside services other than my work and home. I'm sure I do have a bit of a footprint in this area, so that could go up a little bit and this percentage could go down. But realistically, I would say just because of my lifestyle, I don't use a lot of carbon. All right, so moving forward, how can I change my behavior? So probably the biggest thing that I would say is in terms of waste. I can't believe how many paper towels I threw away. So I do want to move to use a reusable rag or towel in my kitchen that I would then wash after a few days of use, as opposed to just throwing away the single-use paper towels. In terms of my office, again, I was surprised that everything I was throwing away was recyclable. And after inquiry, that does not go to the recycling because it is in the trash. So if I wanted to have it go to a single stream recycling source, I would have to do so independently, as my office does not already do that. So I have gone ahead and tried to implement my own personal recycling bin. So I keep this by my desk, and hopefully by the end of the week, I can go ahead and take it to a single stream recycling source. And then in my office, there is these larger recycling bins. However, there is not one that is within two floors or even a building away from me, so I don't have one in my near vicinity. So I will, when things start to go back to normal, try to get this type of office recycling in our own office. So these self-made boxes by our desk can turn into something a little more official, and we can separate out. So it's not just single stream, we can have cans, paper, and other stuff like that. Finally, I did watch the No Impact Man movie, which I'd like to consider more of a reality show. It just seemed that way in the way it was shot, and just the personalities of the individuals, especially the wife, I thought was very funny. But in general, one of the things that I took away from this documentary is that while he is trying to make a concerted effort to go sustainable, he's limited to the services that are available to him. So he flatly had to just turn off his power so that he can have a self-sustainable source when he's living. So his power did not get turned back on until the end of the movie, and there was almost like a little celebration. But unless the whole building decided to go solar or gas or any other type of renewable energy, there'd be no way his individual apartment could have gone sustainable. So that's something to think about. I myself am in an apartment and reliant on whatever municipal services are available to me. It would take a considerable out-of-pocket charge to be truly solar dependent or anything like that. So I thought that was a good comment on we can do as much as we'd like, but there are still larger organizational and municipal levels that need to make changes. So it's almost as if we're at the mercy of how serious they take it. So I thought that was an interesting takeaway from the movie and this assignment in general. I really enjoyed taking a look at how I throw things away. Journaling my actual dietary plan has been more of, hey, you need to eat better than, hey, you're causing a lot of waste. But I do eat a lot of meat, which is kind of on the higher end of carbon impact. So that is something that I can think about. However, I don't think I will be doing a full-on lifestyle change to become more um, carbon aware when it comes to my eating habits. Definitely when it comes to my overall way of life and how I'm going to throw things away, but certainly not for eating. Again, my name is Anthony Silio, and this was my assignment, and I thank you very much for watching.